Fighting is universal in the animal kingdom. Animals will often fight in the wild for a couple of reasons, mainly for food, water, and mates. Usually animals will fight their own kind, especially natural territorial creatures. However, fights can also ensue across different animal creatures. It's common that there's competition in nature, and the rule is usually live, or let live, or eat, or be eaten. In this video, we'll walk you through a few of the most ferocious fights in the animal kingdom, from dogs fighting a lizard to hyenas ganging up on a lone honey badger. Here are 15 merciless animal battles ever filmed. Number 15. Birds vs Mantis. At first, you might think that this fight is a wash for the bird. After all, birds go and eat insects all the time, right? So all they would have to do is go and swoop in, get the insect, and it's time to eat. But as in all things, it's rarely that simple. After all, the praying mantis is one of the deadliest bugs out there in terms of what it can do to its prey once it gets a hold of the theme. Just as important, they're not afraid to go up against bigger foes. As you can see with these birds, they're a bit intimidated by them. As you'll see in these clips, there are multiple birds who go and swoop in thinking that they're about to get a free meal, but the mantis stands its ground and actually is able to hold off the birds they face on their own. The only irony here is that eventually, while facing one of the birds, a lizard comes in and eats the mantis. Like we said before, sometimes it's awareness that matters. Either way, though, it's very interesting to see a mantis go and stand up to a bird like that. Not all bugs are that lucky. Number 14. Dogs fighting a lizard. We have 4 dogs barking and attacking this Komodo dragon. The dogs are incredibly alert, and they're also wary. Despite the dog's advantage in size and number, they can really easily take down a small monitor lizard that easily, when threatened. These lizards will make themselves appear larger by puffing their lungs and making hissing sounds. They can also lunge and attack relentlessly, and they're not as helpless as you think. Some people may keep them as pets, but as you can see, they can be incredibly ferocious when threatened. It's quite unwise for anyone to underestimate these lizards. They may be smarter than the Komodo dragon, but trust me, their attacks can be painful. And as you can see, even after a few minutes of squabbling, the dogs still weren't able to beat the monitor lizard. They landed a few attacks here and there, but the answering bite and attacks of the monitor lizard are equally, if not more painful. In the end, the monitor lizard managed to walk away unscathed from the fight. Number 13. Hippo vs Rhino. Measuring anywhere from about 10 to 16 feet and weighing 3,500 apiece, 9,920. On average, the hippo is one of the largest mammals on Earth, and their jaws are one of the most powerful as well. They can deliver a whopping 1 pesatizero per square inch of force, and they can easily crush the bones of small animals if they want to. Meanwhile, a rhinoceros can grow from 8 to 10 feet long, and they can weigh up to PS 5,000. They're admittedly lighter than the hippos, and they don't have huge mouths with impressive jaw strength. But they do have their long horns that can easily deter any predator. And so who will win if these two giants engage in a fight? As you can see in these videos, both are equally capable of beating the other. But in these two clips, the rhinoceros is the victor. In this first clip, you'll see a hippo being aggressive and territorial to a bunch of rhinoceros grazing. He tries to bite and nibble on the rhinos, but they generally pay him no mind. Later on, however, the rhinos decided that enough is enough, and they chased away the hippo, who also ran for his life. In the second clip, a hippo was trying to hold his ground while being repeatedly stabbed and poked by this huge rhino's horns. The squabble lasted a few minutes, and in the end the hippo didn't budge all throughout the entire clip. However, it did feel the pain of the rhino's sharp horns. Number 12. Rhino vs Buffalo. We know that rhinos can win against hippos, but who do you think will win between a rhino and a buffalo in a fight? Both are horned animals and both can be pretty territorial. However, the buffalo is incredibly light compared to the enormous rhino. Compared to the 5,000 lb rhino, the buffalo can only weigh up to PS 2,000, but despite the difference, the buffalo won't easily back down from a fight. As you can see, it took on the rhino and butted heads with the giant. The buffalo can put up a fight, but the sheer weight difference puts him at a disadvantage. The rhino can easily use his horn to scoop him up and flip him in the air. Later on, a few of the buffaloes decided to help. However, they too got nothing against the raging rhino. After trying their luck, they were forced to leave the rhino alone. Number 11. Hyenas ganging up on a lone honey badger. Hyenas have their strength in numbers. If you aren't familiar with the honey badger, you would surely think that the hyenas can easily take down this small creature. However, If you know that this mammal is once recognized as the world's most fearless creature, then you would know that the honey badger will be the victor of this fight. Try as they might, even attacking all at once won't work against this ferocious honey badger. These guys are notorious for being mean, aggressive, and incredibly fearless. And so after a few attempts of making the honey badger their meal, the hyenas were forced to leave the honey badger alone. Number 10. Honey badger wrestles mole snake. Now, after successfully escaping the hyenas in this video, you'll see another badger trying his luck against a mole snake. Mole snakes aren't venomous, but they can deliver painful and nasty bites. They are powerful constrictors, and they can easily suffocate their prey, which are usually moles and other rodents. No matter how much of a resemblance the honey badger has with rodents, it's actually a mammal, a ferocious and fearless one at that. And so no matter how painful the bites of the mole snake are, the honey badger doesn't back down and still proceeds to overpower the snake. Unlike the mole snake, the honey badger's food options aren't limited. They will eat pretty much anything. They have enough skills, courage, and aggressiveness to easily take on even the most unusual and unlikely prey. Just like this poor mole snake, it seems that in this match the honey badger is once again the victor. Number 9. Big cats try their luck against big lizards. Some people might keep monitor lizards as pets, but while monitor lizards are ferocious and aggressive in these videos, you'll see a bunch of big cats trying their luck against big lizards. In this first clip, these 3 young cheetahs with their mother stumbled upon this monitor lizard, and they're trying to make him their meal. However, they can't easily approach the lizard no matter how small it is. Even if the lizard is outnumbered, one swing of its tail is enough to cut through flesh. One bite is also nasty enough to inflict wounds as well. And so both the young cheetahs and the adult mom are cautious about him, and in the end, the monitor lizard wins the standoff, and he walks away from a group of cheetahs unscathed. However, in the next video, a leopard seems really desperate for a meal, and he doesn't really have any choice but to take on the monitor lizard. He approaches carefully, then starts to use his claws to bring down the animal. Look at how they're weary against his tail and his mouth. The leopards can't easily approach him, and one flick of its tail is enough to send them scurrying backwards. In the end, the leopards walk away and give up on the seemingly hopeless fight. Number 8. Mongoose fights cobra. We all know how scary king cobras are. They are aggressive when they are threatened, vicious, and most of all, their venom can be fatal. One bite in this snake can secrete their venom with their fangs. It's powerful enough to kill an adult human in a matter of 30 minutes. Imagine how brave you are to see this animal as prey. The Indian mongoose is one of the few tiny creatures that will willingly seek out cobras and take them on in a fight. The mongoose is a small animal that is notorious for their ability to take down venomous snakes. Their agility and their speed is their advantage. With their quick movements, they're able to avoid getting bitten. However, some of them also developed resistance against the neurotoxins in the snake's venom. Even if they are already bitten, the mongoose can still survive and find the perfect opening to finish the snake. Just take a look at how quick the Mongols is evading the snake's attacks. And in one quick second, the Mongols saw an opening and immediately launched for the snake's head. And so the battle reached its conclusion, and the Mongols once again proved that adept and capable hunters of these venomous and fearsome snakes. Number 7. Yak wrestles with snow leopard. The snow leopard is a big cat that's well adapted in cold climates. Unlike their kin, they prefer to live in the steep, rocky terrain, and they also like to lounge in high places. Their incredible agility, speed, and leg strength enables them to climb and chase prey even in difficult terrain. Now, on the other hand, we have the yak. These animals are found in the Himalayas, and they are known for their shaggy hair that protects them from the cold. They can weigh up to PS 1200, and their horns are also pretty powerful. The yak is one of the most feasible meals the snow leopard can have in the Himalayas. However, one lone snow leopard isn't enough to take down an adult yak, and so he takes his sights on the young calf. But like I've said, yaks are pretty big, and their horns are also powerful. The snow leopard already has its jaws locked on this young calf's neck. However, the mother yak did stop attacking the leopard. You'll see how she can easily flip the leopard up in the air by scooping him up with her horns. And after a few minutes of struggle, the leopard had no choice but to let go of the young calf. The mother yak deserves a job well done for successfully protecting her calf against one of the most capable predators in the Himalayas. Number 6. Jaguar vs. Caiman. Caimans are small reptiles found in the rivers, swamps, and forests. These creatures are native to Central and South America. They can be compared to the alligators, and their size may vary. Some species of caiman can grow larger than their cousin, while some are smaller. These reptiles are also excellent swimmers, but they aren't quite good at walking. Their rank in the food chain is quite unstable as well. They can be deemed as an apex predator, but they can also fall prey on seemingly weaker animals like anacondas and others. Jaguars, on the other hand, are capable hunters. They're agile on land, and they are one of the few cats that enjoy the water. They have no problem climbing trees, and they're also excellent swimmers. Once the jaguar set its sights on the caiman, it immediately attacks from behind and clamps its powerful jaws on the reptile. It's too late for the caiman to escape, and so even after dragging the caiman back into the water, the reptile's struggle is futile. Number 5. Bear vs. Lion. If you think about some of the biggest beasts around, you are going to realize really quickly that some of them honestly never meet for one reason or another. A great example of this are lions and bears. It's true we have the lions and tigers and bears on my line. But honestly, bears and lions typically don't exist in the same areas because they are literally separated by oceans. But as you've likely guessed, there are always exceptions to the rule. And that exception is the zoo. Yeah, you didn't think about that, did you? So in this case, the bear in question somehow got into a lion's den at a zoo. Seriously, how did it happen? And realize that the lion that was there had some really interesting, well, something it's really hard to see what he's going for. But when he did go for it, the lion went from annoyed to angry in no time flat. Seriously, it was not a happy camper and was more than happy to go and lash out at the bear until the bear went away. This is probably why these two aren't placed in the same parts of the world. They'll never get along. Number 4. Dog vs. Raccoon. In the past, some dogs weren't only treated as house pets. They helped people in pulling wagons. They guarded herds, and they also hunted for people. In this video, you'll see a huge dog wrestling with a big raccoon. The fight lasted for a couple of minutes, with a raccoon being helplessly dragged by the dog. Don't be fooled, though. Raccoons can be quite vicious, and their bites can be painful. They also have dexterous hands that they can use to get out of tough situations. After a few minutes of fighting, the dog was exhausted, and in the end, it wasn't able to take down the huge raccoon. Number 3. Cat vs. Raccoon. This video immediately starts off with a raccoon staring down a house cat. You can immediately tell by the kitty's ears that he isn't happy with the way the raccoon is a bit too close for comfort. The goal of this raccoon is to reach the feeding bowl just behind the cat. But of course, the cat doesn't want to share her treats. Funnily enough, it seems that the masked creature doesn't seem to mind the cat's hisses, and after a few seconds of staring and sizing up each other, the raccoon lunged forward while the cat delivered a few nasty swipes. However, in the end, the house cat immediately got scared and jumped off from her throne, leaving the raccoon to happily feast on the cat's feeding bowl. Number 2. Porcupine vs. Leopard. We're already familiar with how capable leopards are. They can pretty much take on any creature, but there are some times when they run out of luck. This leopard, for example, decided to take on this huge porcupine. I know that sometimes you have to work hard to get a good meal, but I don't think even a brave hunter like the leopard is enough to take down a porcupine. Unscathed porcupines have huge quills that can grow up to 4 inches long, but sometimes they can grow longer. Now, this try-hard leopard did his best to keep up with a quilled animal. It's quite comical to see the big cat chasing the porcupine. The leopard literally can't do anything thanks to the creature's huge quills. In the end, he gave up and stopped the chase. Number 1. Roadrunner wrestles with rattlesnake. We all know the Roadrunner from that one cartoon. We know that they are quick, fast, and agile. However, not many of us know that they can easily take on a rattlesnake if they want to. Rattlesnakes are incredibly venomous, and one bite is fatal for a small bird, such as the Roadrunner. In these next few clips, you'll see how these small birds can easily take on one of the most fearsome snakes. These birds can only fly short distances, and they rely on their sprints that can reach up to 26 mph to travel. They usually live in the desert and in canyons, and so their choice of food is pretty limited. It just so happens that they are one of the few animals that can bravely prey upon the rattlesnake. During the fight, the rattlesnake will try to attack and bite the bird. However, Roadrunners are also fast and agile, and once they get the head of the rattlesnake in their beaks, it's pretty much game over for the poor snake. So that's it for today. If you like this video, then please hit the like and subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching.